Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Western U.S. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, temperatures right now at 8 o'clock on Friday morning, November 20th. A bit cooler as you make your way into the northern and interior Rockies. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s. You can find 40s and 50s as you work your way up the coast from Southern California into the coastal Pacific Northwest. Precipitation is coming to a bit of a lull across the region right now. We've had 7 to 10 days of heavy precipitation, onshore flow across the Pacific Northwest, a little precip in the northern portions of California, and then heavy snows as you make your way into the northern and central Rockies. Not so much going on right now. We've got a weaker disturbance making its way through the Pacific Northwest right now, bringing a little bit of light rain to coastal Washington, kind of the western half of Washington right now. Some light snow falling over portions of western Montana as well. But generally quiet conditions across the region. This is about as quiet as I've seen the hazards map from the National Weather Service over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We've got a couple areas of dense fog advisories, one in southern and western portions of Oregon. We've got a dense fog advisory across portions of coastal Texas. Otherwise, we are relatively quiet, unless you are a small craft, as a friend of mine said on Twitter as I shared this quiet hazards map, pointing out we've got a lot of small craft advisories as you hug the coast. With some windier conditions and some waves along the coastal areas. But we'll go ahead and we'll look at the latest drought monitor. Came out late this week. Not much change. Again, as we continue to see dry conditions from California onto the Four Corners region, we are dropping some precipitation again across the Pacific Northwest and the northern portions of the Rockies. So we'll continue to watch for updates with that over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now, as we go ahead and we'll jump ahead, we'll look at the jet stream here as we head through the weekend into early next week and take a look at the pattern. It's not going to be one that's friends with our friends or kind to our friends in California off toward the Pacific North or the Four Corners region. Again, we're going to keep conditions dry in that area because as we resume an active jet stream heading into next week, it's one that's going to be sending systems again out of the Chukchi Sea, kind of near the Aleutian Islands through the Gulf of Alaska down into the Pacific Northwest. So if we wanted to quickly or begin to quickly remedy the dry conditions from California into the Four Corners region, we want to be sending these systems in from Hawaii, bringing in this Pacific moisture from the southwest, setting up steady flow from the southwest, bringing that into the region. Getting these little glancing shots out of the northwest is not going to do it as far as California, Nevada into the Four Corners. Great for the Pacific Northwest, the northern Rockies. We're continuing to bring in moisture and snowfall to the high elevations in that region. But again, as I just kind of drag this pattern out, you're seeing these troughs come diving in from the southwest. From the northwest, not the southwest, which would be ideal. So as we look at the moisture here, the precipitable water, again, dry air right now sinking in across the Rockies. We've got that lull. And then here comes another wave out of the northwest. This is that next system that comes in as we get into early next week, right around Monday, Tuesday next week. We're going to start to bring some precipitation, some moisture back in from the Pacific. But then again, this is a glancing blow. The system then dives in across the south. It brings dry air back with it. On the backside, we get almost easterly flow coming off of the Rockies. Again, that is not going to do it as far as bringing in sustained moisture to California into the interior Rockies. We get another surge here as we get into the 10-day time frame with another trough trying to make its way in. But this is not even great for the Pacific Northwest as far as, bringing in real intense moisture. So let's look at the precipitation forecast just verbatim from the operational model here, the European operational run. Again, we've got precipitation across Washington as we head through the day today. That's going to taper off into the overnight. Dry for our Saturday, high pressure across the region. Again, dry conditions across the entire west for our Saturday into Saturday night. Sunday, we'll get another system clipping the Pacific Northwest, western portions of Washington and Oregon, getting some light moisture. We'll get some light snow in the higher elevations there of the Cascades. We'll taper off again Sunday night, but then that next system here going into Monday and Tuesday. Again, Washington and Oregon getting some coastal rain and some high elevation snow Monday into Monday night. Another little system here comes in on Tuesday into Wednesday, bringing same thing, coastal rain to Washington and Oregon, snow to the Cascades, eventually some snow to the northern Rockies. We're getting into Wednesday now, November 25th. We're seeing the same thing. Again, maybe getting some moisture down into northern California, mid to late week. And then this one wants to bring some heavier snows into the Four Corners region as we get into Friday and Saturday of next week, way toward the end of the 7 to 8 day time frame, and then high pressure coming in on the backside again. So there you see it, and here you see it. We've got the next 7 days, total precipitation on the left, total snowfall on the right. And again, much of this snow that comes in across the Rockies down to the Four Corners region, that is Friday, Saturday of next week, around November 27th to 28th. We're dry basically up until that point. And then as we look at California, this is really, again, it's not the trajectory for you. This is a pattern that's going to favor British Columbia. It's going to favor the Pacific Northwest, Washington and Oregon, still continuing to get several inches of moisture in that area over the next 7 days. But Northern California down to Southern California, and then on into the Four Corners region over the next 5 days going to be left out. We'll get some snow into the high elevations of the Rockies as we get to the end of the 5 to 7 day time frame, but it looks continued dry for us in California as we just continue to wait what would be an ideal pattern here. It's just not showing up over the next 1 week to 10 day time frame. Here's a look at your highs. We're going to keep temperatures near average over the next 5 days, really. Patches of cooler and warmer areas, but not really straying too far from the norm. Here's your highs on Saturday, getting into Sunday, now Monday, and then here you go, Tuesday. We'll check back in on Monday with an update on the precipitation forecast. Eric will have another ag forecast Monday morning, and I'll be back with your next Western regional forecast on Tuesday as we continue to hunt for a change in this pattern that would bless California into the Four Corners region with a little bit of more sustained moisture.